It is time to blast off inside the kennel. And now here is a tomahawk missile himself, Vindog Radio.
Woo! 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 Welcome to the kennel with myself, Vindog Radio, a Money Bin production. Ladies and gentlemen, you can add, like, and subscribe to the podcast live on podbean.com. You can follow us right there at Inside the Kennel. Ladies and gentlemen, we can also be added on Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, yes, indeed, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and wherever you shall download podcasts. This is going to be one of the most interesting episodes ever. We're going to play a nice video of this dad talking to his daughter about critical race theory. Listen, people are punching back.
Daddy teaches you can be anything in this world that you want to be, right? Don't Daddy teach you that?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're black or white or any color.
Doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, yellow. Right?
Black.
And how we treat people is based on who they are and not what color they are.
And if they're nice and smart.
See, this is how children think right here. Critical race theory wants to end that. Not with my children. It's not gonna happen. My baby's gonna know that no matter what she wants to be in life, all she has to do is work hard, and she can become that.
Work hard, even though you don't know anyone. You can make friends.
Yeah, you can make friends, no matter what color they are. So we need to stop CRT. Period. Point blank. Children do not see skin color, man. They love everybody. If they're good people, they love them.
We pray for people that are hurt.
Man, let's do that again, ladies and gentlemen. Hallelujah. Yes, let's play it a little louder, please. Oh man, I love that. Oh man, yes. CRT is a farce, ladies and gentlemen. Critical race theory is a bunch of nonsense. You know what we should do with critical race theory? We should flush it down the commode. I am so sick of hearing about this nonsense, and people are just buying into the capitulating fact that critical race theory exists. People want to be social justice warriors. People want to say that America is one of the most racist countries in the world. America is not a racist country. Go to other places and try to do the things that you do here in America. You will get booted out on your head. Now, I'm going to tell you who the racist people are. The Biden administration and the rest of his cronies. They're teaching people that being white is horrible. They're teaching people that white people are terrible. They're teaching people that America is not the land of opportunity for you, which is a crock of BS. Now let's get into some history here. America was founded upon the principles of Judeo-Christian values. They're not going to teach you that in the classroom anymore these days. They're teaching you that America is horrifically racist. They're teaching you that America was the villain during World War II. Yes, they are teaching that. But wait a minute. Wasn't America attacked first by the Japanese at Pearl Harbor? But no, they were talking about what happened after Pearl Harbor when America went to retaliate in Japan. That's how much of a farce all of this is, ladies and gents, boys and girls, children of all ages. Let me tell you what Josephina Robinette Biden says about black people not able to get lawyers. Well, I'm just going to let him tell you. Go ahead.
The data shows young black entrepreneurs are just as capable of succeeding given the chance as white entrepreneurs are. But they don't have lawyers, they don't have accountants, but they have great ideas. Does anyone doubt this whole nation would be better off from the investments those people make? And I promise you, that's why I set up this National Small Business Administration that's much broader, because they're going to get those loans.
Joe, you set nothing up. Your puppeteers dared. You're just reading the teleprompter like your homie Barack insane Saddam Obama. Now, this is insane. Economic and social justice. That is so crazy that the Democrats will still use black people as pawns. I said it. They will always use black people as pawns. Listen to Joe Biden here, guys.
A lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccine.
Wait a minute. They don't know how to get in line to receive the COVID vaccine. Not even Joe knows what he's talking about. He's just looking and sounding stupid. It's very crazy right now, my friends. This is what they're teaching Americans. They're teaching young Americans that they are more inferior than ever. Inferiority is what is being taught right now. That is sick and twisted. If America was such a racist country, why are there pioneers like from Lemuel Haynes to Cesar Chavez, who started the United Farm Workers of America? Arnie Marino, owner of one of the biggest baseball franchises in America, the Los Angeles Angels of Anacrime. I have friends, family members that are very successful in this country that have made a difference in their communities just by owning businesses and contributing with their tax-paying dollars to help the community move. But you don't see them on TV because they're not so-called oppressed. Because there is no oppression in America. There is a good friend of mine, Mr. Ariano. He has his own carpet business. He has a carpet cleaning service. He owns 2 businesses. He owns a home or 2. He's actually building another house somewhere I'm not going to even mention. But you don't see the left-wing drive-by media promoting people like him to give others in America hope, because they don't want you to have that great hope in America. They don't want you to have that pursuit of happiness. They don't want you to have the feeling that this man had when he brought himself and his family here legally to do it, to live the American dream. He did the impossible. Right? He did the impossible. There are a lot of folks that work very hard to have successful businesses here in America. Look at the owner of Cardenas Market. Even the guy that owns BET, of course, he's kind of off the rails. But hey, he's successful. He's a billionaire. But America is systemically racist, supposedly. And you have NBA ball players like LeBron James having a lifetime contract with Nike. Of course, Nike is a joke because Nike does not care about child slavery in China. They still support that. It's because they're all in the pockets together. And LeBron James, learn about stuff that you really don't know about. As far as law enforcement and politics is concerned. Because I will dance all over your stupid head when it comes to politics. You're a great basketball player, but you're no Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. But I will tell you this much. When it comes to politics, think before you speak, or have people around you that know how to think logically, so that whatever comes out of your mouth would actually make sense. You want to defund the police. Okay, get rid of your security. Walk around freely. If you don't like law and order, walk around with no security. I want you to walk around every community with no bodyguards that have guns. Okay? Defund the police where you live. Try that on for size and see what happens to your neighborhood. There's good and bad everywhere. But the way people are saying that law enforcement officers are terrible, it is horrific. This guy, James Labrana, caused a police officer to lose his job. That's nuts. But there are no penalties for people like this guy. They get a slap on the wrist and a nice paycheck. Millions of dollars a year. How about talking about the crime that is happening continuously on a daily basis in cities like Chicago, Illinois? No one wants to discuss that. Because BLM doesn't care about that. They just want to destroy the Western world and the Western way of thinking. They want to destroy the nuclear family. That is their agenda. And they hate America. And they hate God. And they hate you. If it really does matter, BLM, how about starting from the womb to the tomb? If you really want to get technical, stop the 1,500 black babies from being annihilated every day. Then we know you're doing something positive. You people are off the rails. You're not thinking logically. There's no common sense in what you're doing. But you're pushing this agenda upon people. You're destroying America. You're destroying communities. You want to defund the police. Okay, some people want to defund police officers, the police department. Okay, check this out. Here's how we can do this. In the areas where everybody wants to defund the police, let the cops leave and go get gigs somewhere else where cops are wanted and needed and appreciated. Most inner cities do not want to get rid of the police because the police officers are their last line of defense to protect and serve them. Back the blue. And then you have a certain seller that's on the Amazon website selling shirts that says Blue Lives Murder. What in Sam Hill is that? The Rocketeer is going to take off today because I am really upset and I'm sick and tired of everybody playing this card saying that America is a racist country. The most racist group in the United States of America is the uber left Democrat Party. And yes, I said it, uber left oligarchies. Let's just call it what it is. These people are very disruptive. They're doing this reverse racism move like Jim Crow of the early 1900s with Woodrow Wilson. But this one has ensued itself on steroids. People have infiltrated the Democrat Party, ladies and gentlemen. Democrats, I'm sorry, your party has left you and communism has ensued. But they're using the title Democrat. And they say, oh, we want to protect the Constitution of the United States of America. No, you don't. You do not want to protect the Constitution of the United States. How are you going to be protecting something that was written on the premise of God? Huh? You Democrats don't even like God. I'm talking to you so-called politicians that want to be dictators, like governors, mayors, congressmen and women, especially the squad. You know who you are. You should step down. If you really hate America that much, leave. I'll help you pack. I'll throw you out on your ear, no problem. I'm just sick of all the rhetoric. And the activist media, like CNN, MSNBS, even Fox News, ABC, NBC. You guys all need to go. Because you're doing nothing but pouring out a pack of lies and fear. False evidence appearing real. That's all you're doing. Do something constructive for a change. If you really love this country like you say you do, you will do something to save this country. Because this country is falling apart. There are millions of Americans who love this land. There are millions of people who have migrated to this country legally to live the American dream for their families and to set a legacy for their family's future. But you people in the activist media don't care about that. All you do is care about yourselves. Me, 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 me. And then you got a guy named Don Lemonhead over at, what is that, CNN, Communist Narrative Network? He's up there trying to cry on TV. America's not racist, Don. You're married to a white man. You try to marry another man in a different country, like, let's say, Egypt or Iran, you'll get tossed off of a building. Just like that. So don't go giving me this crap that America is not a great country. It's not perfect, but it's better than any other place that you would ever live around the world. Like I said, if you don't like it, leave. That's all you can do. Pack your bags, leave, make room for someone else that's going to want to be an immigrant into this country and do it legally and become a citizen and appreciates all the benefits of capitalism. Bernie Sanders, retire, step down. Elizabeth Warren, step down, drink all of your brews that you want. Amy Klobuchar, step down, go home. Take care of your family. You don't deserve to be in politics. You're useless. You guys are all being puppeteered and controlled by Barack Hussein Obama anyway, who is a leftist Marxist. I don't care what anyone says. Obama is a Marxist. He's a racist. He hates everything about America, and that is why he said Joe Biden is finishing the job he started stat. Coming up on the other side, we're going to talk about some crooked people like the Clintons. Oh, boy. As if we didn't know they were crooked. Especially Billy. Oh, sweet Billy. You're listening to Inside the Kennel right here on Podbean.com, a Money Bin production with myself, Vin Dog Radio. Please like and subscribe to the podcast. Follow the podcast on Podbean.com. And you can add me on Twitterverse. Cloud Hub, and InstaSlam. Yes, at Vindog Radio USA, VINNDOGG USA, because it is all about America.
Back in a minute, sucker.
Back in a minute.
More with the street shooter himself right after this. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Vindog Radio.
American Airlines, rated the worst, losing the most bags, shrinking legroom during COVID. American requires passengers to show ID to fly, but attacks Texas's popular voter ID law. Why is CEO Doug Parker trying to appease the radical left? To distract from billions in taxpayer bailouts, from his $10 million payday, from Americans' record layoffs. Doug Parker, American Airlines. Serve your customers, not woke politicians. Coca-Cola is getting political, attacking Georgia's popular voting law. Why? To distract from years of dismal sales, terrible 2020 results, reports suspecting they benefited from forced labor in China. Coca-Cola products are poisoning America's youth and worsening the obesity epidemic. So the company tried funding phony science to minimize the harms, but they got busted. James Quincy, Coca-Cola. Stop poisoning our children. Serve your customers, not woke politicians. Nike is constantly political. Why? Cover. Congressional reports suspect Nike used forced labor in China. Religious minorities were ripped from their families, sterilized, sold to factories. Nike made shoes in those same areas. Congress tried to ban Nike's labor practices. Nike fought back with highly paid lobbyists. Rather than hiring Americans, Nike chose China. John Donahoe, Nike, stop exploiting foreign labor. Serve your customers, not woke politicians.
He shoots straight from the hip, and if you don't like it, go and stuff yourselves. Back to the kennel with Mr. Keeping It Real himself, Vindog Radio.
Welcome back to the kennel with myself, Vindog Radio, a Money Bin production. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow Money Bin on YouTube so that you can access the kennel at Money Bin Productions with a Z. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to be here. You can add, like, and subscribe to the podcast on Podbean.com. You can download the Podbean app. Yes, millions of downloads to date of the Podbean app. But as far as podcasts, over 1.7 billion downloads of podcasts to date, year to date. That is awesome, and in numbers are climbing exponentially. You can also add and follow us on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify, and wherever you shall download podcasts. We are going to jump into some business about Billy Clinton. Excuse me. And you thought that this guy was off the rails when he had his little scandal with Monica Lewinsky? I want you guys to sit back and relax and listen to the names that are going to be called out in this audio that I'm going to play for you. Brace yourselves, America.
Many people believe that AIDS was created in a lab as a bioweapon. But did you know how it spread? In the 1950s, approximately 100 million people were infected with the simian virus by way of contaminated vaccines. And 4 years later, the first case of HIV in a human was discovered.
Okay, you heard that, right? The first case in HIV in a human was discovered. Do you want to know who's behind it? Keep going.
But things really took off when Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas. With his support, the company Health Management Associates, HMA, was earning millions of dollars a year by selling blood to international pharmaceutical companies.
Whoa, did you hear that? These people are devils, man. They came to seek and destroy and make money off of the lives of the people they destroyed. This gets better.
The blood was procured from prisoners, many of whom were infected with hepatitis and AIDS. Soon after, the products made from the HMA-infected blood began giving people AIDS. Lawsuits ensued, and the FDA shut it down for 6 months. But Bill Clinton got it back up again in 1984 and let it run until he got elected as president. And by that time, AIDS had become a household word.
It became a household word. You see, it all ties in to how these cronies make money. It ties in to how they control the population to make that dollar. Man, I'm just going to let this go on. I'm going to finish this. Hold on.
President Bill Clinton set himself up to profit off it all. Have you ever heard of the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, Tuberculosis, and Malaria, otherwise known as the Global Fund? Would it surprise you that Bill Gates is one of the founders?
It does not surprise me that Billy Gates is one of the founders. You see where this all leads to, folks? You see the pattern here? These billionaires care nothing about you, me, or anyone else. You see the pattern, right? I'm going to keep asking that because I want this to sink into your heads of what these people are really trying to do to us. Continue.
What about PEPFAR, the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief? George W. Bush created PEPFAR, which gave the executive branch access to billions of taxpayer dollars.
You see, even the Bushes are involved. The Bushes, man. Daddy Bush, which is George Herbert Walker Bush, talked about a new world order. His son, George W. Bush. Man, if you guys don't knock it off, these people are all in it together. And if you're not in their club, they will lambaste you to the finish.
PEPFAR is the largest donor to Bill Gates' Global Fund, which, thanks to Bill Clinton, is not subject to U.S. taxation, jurisdiction, or law.
Really? It's not subject to U.S. taxation and law? Really? So these guys can illegally do anything through that foundation and destroy people. Wow!
It's protected it from its many scandals. Would you be surprised to learn that millions of dollars has gone to George Soros as well as the Clintons? Bono has raised millions for the Global Fund, dressing as the devil and telling us if we don't give him more money, then we're all going to hell. This book will answer all these questions and more. Learn how U.S. taxpayers have contributed $90 billion and counting to what appears to be a giant slush fund that was created by 3 former U.S. presidents involving over 35 governments and scores of major NGOs.
Wow. So you mean to tell me that these people have done this and gotten away with it? But instead, they have people fighting across party lines on purpose so that they can continue to push their agenda to destroy everyone. This lines up with Antonia Fauci. It all makes sense that they would actually go to lengths of doing this to destroy the sovereignty of America. This is a part of the destruction process, people. And now the Medical Association is getting in on it. That's right. The American Medical Association is getting in on all of it, especially when it comes to critical race theory. I'm telling you, I don't trust these people. And neither shall you. They're playing everyone against each other. Ethnos, ethnic, people group against people group. This is in biblical proportions. This is biblical. People group will be against people group. And you know who's pushing the narrative? That cretin Satan himself. And he's got his elite cronies that he has gotten into their souls to push his agenda. How many of you are going to fight back against this? How many of you are going to tell your friends and family members, hey, you know what? This is the real truth. These people are playing one of us. Better yet, they're playing all of us. We have to take a stand and say, you know what? We cannot let them play us against one another. And that is exactly what they're doing. You see, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. What matters to them is how they can control you and ensue their power upon you and tell you how and where you should live, how much money you should be able to make, when are you able to go out of your house. It's all rolling together, people. And you know what's funny? I used to like Bono from U2 until all of this started to come out. I thought he was a nice guy. I seem to have thought that about a lot of people in that industry, and then I really find out that they're really not nice people. They're in it together. It's an elitist thing. The select few are all in it together. Population control is their game and their gain. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to look up the T4 program. I read a little bit on it, and I want you to read it for yourself. It talks about how the medical industry got involved in all this stuff. It's repeating itself. History is repeating itself. This is all about control. This is not about helping you or me. And if you think it is, you got another thing coming. This great reset, it's not to help out people. It's not to help out the climate. They tell us that's what it is, but it's really not. This is about total tyranny. This is like some Karl Marx business going on here. You know, if Fidel Castro were alive today, and the way that things are going in this country, he would be super duper jealous. Because he would say, darn, I wish I would have thought of lockdowns. People, wake up. And when I try to talk to certain people about certain things, they look at me like I'm freaking nuts. And they're like, dude, you're out of control. That's not happening. Oh, well, let it be. Oh, well. I'm just going to sit here and wait for the Lord to come. That's all I hear from people. How about put up a fight before it's all done?
What's an assault weapon?
Yeah, Senator, the bill to ban assault weapons is
what is your
dozens of
definition of
pages.
an
There's
assault
no way I could define an assault weapon.
You don't have any. You're going to run.
Okay, see, that was a guy that Senator Rand Paul was interviewing, who's going to be in the intelligence community. And he is talking about putting a ban on assault weapons like the AR-15, which is a sporting rifle. You see, people, this is not about the security and peace that they so-called are trying to, tell us that they want for us here in America. Of course, they want to build their perfect utopian world and all that good stuff. Yeah. Let me tell you, there are so many of you out there that know people that are falling for this banana in a tailpipe business. This is like the oldest trick in a book, but they just found a new way to get it across the table towards you. You see, when the lockdown happened and people started wearing the face diapers because they were told to wear the face diapers and that the face diapers were going to save their lives, they bought into it. Wow. Just like that little kid said a couple weeks ago that I played on the podcast. She said, wow. You got people to buy into the fear. An 8-year-old child can tell that this was all fear because God put it on her heart. And for those of you who don't believe in God, I feel bad for you. That's why you're fearing everything. That's why you're still going around, driving around in your car with a face covering on when you're by yourself in the vehicle. You're wearing a face shield in your car with your family members. You're wearing a face covering, or shall I say diaper, after you've received the jabby. Oh, I'm just going to wear it until I feel that it's safe. I've just got to trust the science. Fauci says it's good. If President-elect Biden says it's good. I'm just going to wait until my pimps called the government tell me that it's okay to take off my face diaper, a.k.a. my butt diaper. You people are ridiculous that are falling for this. And you're making up excuses why you voted for these people. You're making up excuses of why you're just bending that knee and that back real hard and obeying the government. They should be obeying you, we the people. Before I leave this earth, I'm going to continue my fight because this is crazy. Reach down and grab and say, you know what? I got to do this. Because the day that you have to stand before God, you want him to say, well done, good and faithful servant, not, I don't know you, get away from me. You didn't do such a great job. You didn't stand up. You just sat there and waited for me to come. Come on, man. Isn't that Joe Biden's line? Come on, man. Come on, man. I think I'm done with today's episode. I don't even want to talk anymore today. I think I said all that I can say. I'm literally talking to you until I'm going to be blue in the face. But will you listen? Will you do your own research? Will you see what these people are doing to us? Will you acknowledge that they are not for you, that they are actually 100% against you? When you acknowledge that, then I know that you have crossed the threshold into reality and that you are willing to seek the truth. Because I'm willing to seek the truth. Because I love and care about people and I don't want them being played and thrown to the undertow. America is about to be finished if no one stands up. America is about to be totally done if people do not stand up to these leftist oligarchy runners and push back. And it starts at the local level in your cities. Even if your best friend is running for office and they're not doing a heck of a job, hold their feet to the fire too. Dude, I would hold my own mother's feet to the fire if she was doing a horrible job if she were the mayor. Let's just call it what it is. But if you like tyrannical governments, go ahead, lay down, and wait. And it won't be long before they come after you. Because people are saying, oh, man, you know what? It might just go along, and just toe the line and go along to get along. Yeah, let's get along with the government. Let's do what they say. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes'm, yes'm, yes'm. Let's do it. Let's play Uncle Fee. Yeah. Let's play Uncle Knee. Let's play Uncle Knee back. Let's submit that to the government. Let's let them tell us what to do. Let's let them tell us how we should live. Let's let them tell them how much meat we should eat per year. Let's let them destroy our farmers. Let's let them destroy everything that we've worked for and that our ancestors worked for. Let's let them tell them what we should do politically. Let's let them tell us who we should vote for. Oh, man, I just don't get it. I don't get it. No one has any gumption anymore. What happened to courage? If you don't have any courage, you might as well not be around. You might as well just go into a cubby hole and sit there and just let the moral rot of America in decadency continue. Money Ben, thank you so much for being a great producer. And you got to keep doing this with me because you're fighting for your family's future. You want your family to have something. You want family members to have things that you didn't have. But you're setting the table for it. You're laying down the whole foundation. You're living, you're dreaming. You're saying this is America. This is where we can build legacies for our family's future, for the children's children's children. Fight with all your might. Tell these local city officials and educators, hey, we're not taking this anymore. You're not going to destroy our country. You're going to do as we say or you're out. You've been listening to The Kennel right here on podbean.com. Don't forget to add, like, and subscribe to the podcast. Yes, you can follow us at Inside the Kennel on podbean.com. And Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn Radio, and wherever you shall download podcast. This is a Money Bin production, and we will see you next time. God bless you. God bless America. Take care of one another, and let's love one another. And continue to pray for the nation of Israel also, because our Israeli brothers and sisters need us. And pray for the Palestinian citizens because Hamas, the group, or whatever you want to call those villains, are using those people as shields and as pawns, just like BLM's using black people as pawns. Yep, I said it. And Antifa is not an idea, Gerald Nadler. Pull your pants up to your chest, boy. Because God's going to deal with you accordingly anyway. I don't need to talk about you anymore. All right, ladies and gentlemen, God richly bless you. Take care of one another. Love each other. Vindog, out of here.
See you real soon, sucker.